As we just hit the top of the hour, I do want to let you know that you are listening to WCNI New London, that you enjoyed it and that you're ready to stick around for the next hour because my guest has come to the studio, and I'm so glad. You know, it's not easy to first of all, to get a musician to speak before noon, and then when you add in the fact that it's like 10 degrees out there, that adds another element of difficulty. So thank you so much, Tom. I'm very appreciative to see you today here at the studio.
Well, thanks. I'm happy to be here.
Well, you're certainly...
And it's warm.
It is, and you're certainly heating it up. I've got your brand new release in my hands, On Fire, and certainly aptly titled, not just because this fabulous photo on the cover, which y'all can see if you are on Facebook. Morning Mojo, I posted this morning. And you know what? Before we even get started, can you give out maybe the best ways for people to connect with you if they want to, watch your dates and, learn more about what we're going to talk about? What's the best website to go to, Tom?
Oh, thank you for saying that.
Sure. That's why I get the big bucks.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. I'll give you $50. www.tomthesuitforst.com. That's where you can get everything. Obviously, like everyone else, I'm on Facebook and all of that. And you can always find that at /TomTheSuitForst. But really, it's www.tomthesuitforst.com. And
I'm going back and forth because I really want to jump into the CD. I've got so many questions, but I love the story behind how you picked the name The Suit. Can we just give them a skinny lowdown or just an idea of?
Yeah. Well, it's two stories, but the overall story is that I used to be a corporate executive, and I may be the only blues guitar on the planet has an MBA. But it's 8 years now. My wife was paying the last tuition bill for our third child, and she said, "Well, that's it. We're done." And I said, "Well, then I quit." So I called my the president because I was a vice president.
Yeah.
And I said, "Listen, I'm going to give you 6 months." And that day, I started the music business full time.
I love that. What a leap of faith! It must have felt scary and wonderful all at the same time.
Well, looking back, it was insanity.
Yeah. Most of the best ideas are, though, aren't they?
Yeah. I owe it to my wife.
Yeah.
For saying, sure, go ahead and do it.
Yeah. Is your wife musical at all? Or just believe she is?
She was in an all-female rock band back in the 70s called Viva.
Really?
Yeah, they were really making it big. But it was getting dangerous being an all-female rock band back then.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you think she'll ever guest, or do you think you'll do some stuff together?
Never. She hates working with me. Really? She literally quit once when I was playing with her. Apparently,
really?
I'm difficult.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Who's going to believe that?
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wow. I didn't realize that. Well, Tom, The Suit Forst, again, the name of the album is On Fire. And as I said, you certainly are. This is a pretty meaty CD, 11 cuts on here. I'm just looking to see, you've got, Killing Floor, of course, something that, so many have done it, but I think of Johnny.
Yeah.
I think of Johnny Winter.
Right.
But I do want to connect the dots there. And speaking of Johnny, Paul Nelson has been instrumental in getting this all put together.
Actually, you have been instrumental because one time you contacted me, it had to be 2 years ago, and you said, you should really think about getting together with Paul Nelson. And at that point, I didn't know who Paul was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought, well, if Allie knows who he is, he must be somebody. So I did some research and found out he was a guitar player and a road manager for Johnny Winter, and he's a Grammy-winning producer. So I called him, and he said, "No, I'm not interested. I don't have time." Yeah. And I sent him some cuts, and then I got a call a couple of months later saying, "Yeah, I am interested. Let's talk." And that's how it got started. So it's really you. So if this album sucks and you hate it, it's Allie's fault.
It's my
That's
fault.
the way I look at it.
Well, I do my best, but I got to tell you, I did think this was a good fit. Knowing Paul and knowing yourself, and he's really, has worked, of course, Joe Louis Walker, who he's been instrumental with. And I think because he's such a great musician himself, sometimes I'm not going to go off on that tangent, but I think that really is part of connecting when you really know the business, not just as a business, but from the passion side of it as well. So
he raised my game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was brutal.
Yeah.
Really tough.
Yeah. Which part are you saying?
Well, what happened was he said, "Well, I'm going to get touring musicians in town, and we're going to use a band that's not your own."
Yeah.
Because he wanted to have a newer sound.
Yeah.
I said, "Great, let's do that." So I get a call, and he said, and I've been waiting, and he said, "Okay, in 2 weeks you got to be in the studio. We're going to do 48-hour session live." I said, "But Paul, I only have half of it written." And he said, "You've got 2 weeks," and he hung up. And that was it. So I wrote a lot of these songs in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, it's some of the best writing I've ever done, and I think it was because of that hyped up feeling.
Yeah, when you're in the zone.
Exactly.
And and I'm sure that once you feel you've got someone on your team that is valuable, you don't want to let them down.
Yeah, well, I was really, really nervous about it. I wanted to have these guys, and of course I wanted them to be impressed.
Oh, absolutely.
So I just nonstop work.
Now, did you come up with a certain number of songs, or did you have more than this and you had to call out, or how did that work? Was it the culling process?
It was. I brought him 20 songs. Mm-hmm. I had 20 songs written, and he said, "Well, first of all, every album nowadays needs a couple covers, so you need at least, he said 50%, but I brought 3 to the table,
and those are I heard it through the grapevine, Killing Floor, and Walk Away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, when I said Grapevine, he said, "Are you crazy? That's like doing Rolling on the River, But once he heard the version, he said, "Man, this is a rocked up version of a soul tune. This is really great." So we did put it on there.
We'll definitely play it this morning. It's funny as you're saying. It's like I'm hearing this in Paul's voice. He's got that that personality.
He's a man of little words, by the way. Very cryptic,
But they hold a lot of weight.
Yeah, I finish, a vocal.
Yeah,
that sucked. Let's do it again.
Yeah, yeah. He writes like that too.
Oh yeah,
you can't take anything personally like that. Yeah,
very, very quick, brief. But I like that. I'm a man of few words. So
yeah, the rest is extraneous. Just get to the point, and
I wish the few words were nicer.
Well, you know what the thing is about that, Tom. When he's brutally honest. So when he is giving you some words that are great, you can really that they're true. So I think that again, while he can be really tough, I think that's a really good thing to help move your creative process along. Because
it's what I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
This is probably my 8th album, 3rd one that I've done, with my own band, and first one I've done as The Suit. I would recommend to anybody, you cannot be your own producer. Because you love your own stuff. It was great to have, and when it was over, I knew it was good because somebody else was saying, "That's it."
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about who else is on the album. But before we do that, I just want to let the audience know, listeners, we have got Tom the Suit Forst in the building, and we're talking all about the new release, On Fire, and so much more. I'm going to be playing you some cuts from this. But of course, you can always go, as we're speaking, I'm not going to stop you, to Tom the Suit Forst, FORST.com, and check out, everything we're talking about, see the album cover, and all the links that are there. In addition to Paul, someone else I want to ask about that you had on here, the tiny but mighty and so beautifully talented Grace Kelly.
Yeah.
On sax, of course.
We're in the studio. I forget. We had 3 studios at work at the same time. So I forget. I think it was some studio in Stamford. And we're sitting there, and we're doing a final mix down. And he said, "Listen, I was thinking of adding sax to Grapevine."
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I mean, it's really guitar intensive.
Yeah.
So he said, "I got this girl coming in, and she's doing something else. And for another artist, and it's going to do yours."
Yeah.
I said, okay. So this little girl walks in, 5'4", maybe. I don't know. Cutest little thing.
Yeah.
She looked like she was 7. I think she's in her late teens.
Yeah.
And her name is Grace Kelly.
Yeah.
So she pulls out her saxophone. I'm thinking, oh, God, I don't need a beginner on my album. So she said, I just want to warm up. Well, she just hits the first note, just one note. And when you're a musician, you just know from the first note if somebody's going to be good or not. Yeah. So I've never heard, I mean it, and I've played with some great players. Yeah. I've never heard anything like this. As a matter of fact, it was so good that her warm-up, I turned at the end of her warm-up and I said to the technician, did you happen to record that? He said, yeah, tape was running. I said, well, that's it. And she said, well, no, I can do better. I said, no, that's it. Because it was animalistic almost. And what song is that? Grapevine. On Grapevine. Yeah, all right, great. Yeah. Wow. If I would have known, I would have called it the Grace Kelly album because I didn't realize how famous she was. She's on the Colbert Show. And we've been lucky enough, this is a perfect case in point. So often here, one of the things I feel so strongly about is supporting live music and getting out, and not only the musicians, but the venues that bring it to us, because without that synergy, it's just not going to happen anymore. And we were lucky enough to have Grace a few times. She was at the Mystic Theater. Mystic, I know I always get this wrong, but they were doing the music out there. I don't know if they still are right now. But she's playing with James Montgomery for a while. Sure, that's right. And that's a Paul connection. Yeah, exactly. And I think she was actually at the Kate as well in Old Saybrook. But this is a perfect example of why you want to get out and experience these artists, because some of them then go on and it's really difficult to have that moment. And there's nothing like, I think, seeing them as they are really taking off. And I'm not sure. I know she was up for Grammy consideration. I don't know if she's. That's what I heard. Yeah, if she's got a nomination or not. I don't want to misspeak, but I got a granny. You got a Grammy? Sorry. Oh, that's terrific, Tom. Well, can a Grammy be far off? That's a stepping stone, I think. I think so, too. Absolutely. So you've got Grace on here. You've got Paul. Tell me a little bit about the background vocals. Hollis and Tiffany? Yeah. I don't honestly know much about them except that they're extraordinary. My record company is Factory Underground Records. And what they did is they brought in the talent for that. Women of the World is going to be my second single release. Okay. And it's got a very powerful message. It is what the title said. When are we going to let women run the world? Men have tried it for thousands of years and screwed up, and let's have a different sensibility. Idea. Well, it's just a different sensibility, less ego-driven. I think women have a better thought process overall. In any case, it sounds like I'm pandering to women. Well, I am a gal DJ here. That's okay. I'm not going to stop you. But it's honestly the way I feel. Yeah. And I'm going to use this opportunity to mention Gary Ewell, who was my writing partner and my very best friend, and he just passed away. I'm sorry. We were together on a Friday finishing up some stuff, and he dropped dead on that Saturday of a massive heart attack. Did he see this come to fruition? He saw it. I'm holding up the CD. He did not see the CD, but he heard the songs. And he is a marvelous human being, creative, self-made millionaire. I mean, the whole deal. But he just dropped dead. So he's on this album, and that's another reason I'm really pushing it. I'm going to say he was 65. Yeah, but he had major health issues. But this was a shock to everyone. It always is. I mean, it doesn't matter if you are someone that's been suffering years with a terminal illness. It's when it happens, it's never. He was on the mend. We were talking about all these plans, talking about tours and other things, and the very next day he was gone. So. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's just another lesson in how fragile life is, and say goodbye to everybody one day. Well, I think of it more as when I'm standing in a grocery line or something, and someone is they've got to wait an extra 3 minutes. Really just take a breath and realize
first world problems. I mean, really, you're so stressed that you can't wait 2 minutes to pay for all this food that you have in front of you. And if you have a healthy family, and there's always something to be grateful for. And I think that these moments when unexpected things like this happen, and they do happen, they're going to keep happening. If we can grieve, of course, but take a bigger message out of that and go forward and do something positive. Certainly his spirit is with you and with this album. I'll tell you what, Tom, why don't we jump into one of the cuts? Why don't we start with The Wolf's at the Door?
Sure.
And I can't wait to play some of these others, and I really want to hear Grayson. I heard it through the grapevine. I know we have been playing this here on WCNI. Of course, Dana's got a terrific show, Out of the Blues, on Saturday with a huge blues following, and I know it's been getting some play there as well. So why don't we do this? Let's jump on in. I'm going to remind you. Oops, you are listening to WCNI New London, 90.9 FM. You've got Allie here with Tom Forst, The Suit, and we're going to take you through some more of the morning. We're going to play some music, and when we come back, I'd really like to talk about your release party at one of my favorite places to go for the blues, Black Eyed Sally's. If Verano's out there, bringing great music to us, and this is going to be a real celebration. So when we come back, let's talk about that, the date, and how people can find out about it, and all the players you're going to have on stage with you, because I know you've got some great surprises in store.
I do. You
do. All right, everybody, without further ado, I am going to hopefully press the right button. That looks like the right, they all went to sleep. We were talking so much. So now I got to wake them all up, and I think this is going to do the trick right here on WCNI New London, 90.9 FM.
Listen to me. He's just around the bend. Open up your eyes, you'll see. Put down that goddamn phone and look outside. I know he's coming. He's got hell on his side. The wolf's out the door and he's coming after you. The wolf's out the door. You don't have a clue. The wolf's out
right, that was the Wolves at the Door. Yeah. And, not that I don't want to let that fly into that one, but I do want to talk to you a little bit more. When Tom came in, he had asked me about being a musician, and we had a little conversation. It's funny, I am not at all, but I was just saying to him, I can tell on an album the fingerprints all over it, and definitely you can feel Paul on here, and I think it really ups your game. I really do. I really love the sound. The Wolves at the Door. On Fire is the name of the CD. Tom the Suit Forst is the gentleman that we have here with us. And, of course, you can go to TomTheSuitForst, FORST.com, and follow along with everything we're looking at and all the information that we have here. You mentioned where you recorded it, and I'm just curious how important the actual atmosphere to where you're recording is to you. Is that a big deal? I mean, a lot of people are like, I need to be out in the field, in a barn, and, is that an important element to putting together your album?
I didn't realize that it was. Mm-hmm. All of the albums I have done have been in either studios or my own studio. Mm-hmm. So, it was a place close to home. But this album, although it sounds produced, is live instrumental. We did all of the instrumental stuff at the same time.
Wow.
I sang the vocal on a dead mic so that as a tracking device, so they knew. But we did this live. We were together for 48 hours. The first 4 or 5, I introduced the songs to them.
Wow.
And we did this all in 2 days. We stayed over at Paul's studio. He has a mansion in the middle of Stamford.
The white one inside? Isn't that great? Did you sign the canvas?
I was shocked.
Did you sign the canvas?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember that.
Did you walk in the front door?
Oh, I don't remember if I did.
I got another funny story for you after, but keep going. I
probably just wrote on his wall. How do I know?
Oh, no, I'm sure you didn't. I can assure you that did not happen.
No, I had to take my shoes off. That was the very first day. Take your shoes off.
Oh, it's just, it's real. And actually, I hooked him up with a friend of mine who shot the house for like a Home and Garden magazine.
Really?
It is.
It's a beautiful home.
It is stellar, yeah.
We stayed upstairs. He has a bunch of rooms upstairs, so we stayed up there overnight.
Yeah.
And then early in the morning, and I mean early, we got together again, ran through all the songs again, and instantly recorded.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we did the whole album.
Wow.
Whole album in one day.
That's
wild. I mean all the songs.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. Something else I just wanted to ask you about as we were listening to that playing. Oh, I know what we want to talk about because I do not want to run out of time. What's really exciting coming up on the 14th. Now, with the completion of this album, you're going to have a release party.
Yes.
Can we talk a little bit about that? Coming up?
No, I don't want anyone to know. This is a secret.
You are such a tough interview, pal.
I know. See. Yeah. I'm going to make you want it.
Yeah, you really are making me work for it, Tom.
Yeah, it's January 14th, which happens to be this Saturday.
Okay.
At my favorite place. I was thrilled to get this place. It's Black Eyed Sally's in Hartford, Connecticut. Starts at 9:00. I got beside my own band, and I'll be playing some songs with my own band, including a guy named Dave Stultz, who has played with Dickie Betts. He played with the Allman Brothers. He played with he's a guitar player for Government Mule. He played with him.
Warren Haynes?
Yeah, Warren Haynes. He played with a million guys, and he's my bass player.
He's also played with Suture Self. That's a group of doctors. Suture, like suture.
I did not know that.
Yes. I've got to mention them as well.
Wow. Wow.
He is fabulous, and he is just as dear a person as he is talented and gifted, and he's very sought after. So that is going to be a lot of fun to have him.
He's so sought after. I'm so thrilled that he wanted to be part of this. I don't know if you know who Slam Allen is.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, he's big in Europe, and he tours all the time. He's going to be there, and he is a showman and a half.
Oh, God, he is. Yeah.
Then I have Doug Wahlberg from the Doug Wahlberg Band, who's very, very. Oh, hey, there he is. He's very big in the New York market. Plays a lot of bigger venues, and Paul Gabriel, who's local.
Oh,
Paul?
do I know him? He's a man after my heart. I adore Paul. He is so genuine, and his playing is incredible, and he's been doing it for so long with so many people. Yeah. He is really the real deal.
He's a big award winner. Yeah,
he is.
So now, and understand, when I talk to these guys, I said, this is not a jam night. This is not you getting up there and, we're going to try to figure out what key.
Yeah.
Each one of these guys is not just going to play. All three of them are going to sing their songs. We'll back them up. And, each one will do 2 or 3 songs.
Of their own.
Of their own. Not mine. Nope. So it'll be a very good evening of music. I'm very excited about it. So I hope everybody can get out there January 14 at 9 o'clock. Probably goes 9 to 12. Allie's got 2 albums right here already, Paul Gabriel and Slam Allen.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Wow.
Absolutely. Black Eyed Sally's in Hartford. Of course, they have a wonderful presence online. I would suggest because this really has been creating quite a buzz, and when I think about all the different musicians that are going to be there and the following they bring, if you do want a seat, I would suggest you call like today, well, I'm not doing any kind of call to arms or anything, because we don't do that here on nonprofit radio. But what I'm saying is, if this is something you're looking forward to and you want to sit down, you might want to consider that, which is just common sense, but especially with the players that you're bringing together.
If I may, too, I just wanted to mention that I am bringing 200 albums, CDs.
All right.
And I'll be giving them out to anyone who comes.
Oh, you're kidding.
I'll sign them if they want. They may not want that, but if they do. And I also have these interesting, I'm starting a cause this year.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a charity that I can use to give a percentage of anything I make this year to charity. And I'm thinking of Big Brothers Big Sisters, but I'm talking with a variety. But I'm on this cause, and it's called Make America Grateful Again.
I love it, Tom.
Yeah,
I love it.
I was thinking to somebody the other day, I was complaining about America, and I said, you know what? What a great country it is that I can complain about it.
Yeah.
And not find myself behind bars or...
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know what? Yeah, we need to fix things for sure, but it's still a great place. And so I've got these bumper stickers that say, Make America Grateful Again. And I'm pushing that all year.
I love it. And, it is such a wonderful message. And just like I was saying, no matter how dark or difficult your challenge might be, I think it was Martin Luther King that said, if you threw we all threw our problems in a pile, you'd scramble to get your own back. So it's true, right? I mean, really, and again, it is relative. And I'm certainly not saying that if you are struggling with something very dire that you shouldn't, you've got to own your own feeling. But I think that the idea of being grateful for something, no matter what it is, you can
just make you. And I'm not whining, but I lost my brother this year. And
what a year!
My only brother.
Yeah. I'm sorry,
and
Tom.
I loved him dearly. Well, thank you. But you know what? I still feel very grateful. That's just part of it. Just part of life. It's not to be surprised about. It just these things happen.
Yeah, beginning, middle, and end.
I feel very grateful.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm sitting here with you. I'm very grateful about that.
Yeah. Well,
unless you say you don't like a song, and then
I'm throwing
the bumper stickers.
No, I am all about this. I think it is a wonderful thing. And what was really exciting, again, was to think about how, again, we discussed last time you were here all that time ago. And this was, an idea, a dream, a little kernel of a thought. And then to see it come to fruition, I think is just an amazing thing. And I think that talking about it today with our audience and the listeners out there, it can apply across the board. It's maybe you are an artist in a different medium or an author or whatever, you want to be the best jump roper, whatever it is. You start from one space and you just go forward. And if you ever get stuck, just look around and you'll find someone to inspire you with a story that shows that they were able to make it. And certainly On Fire are listening to this today is the message I'm getting from it. So great songs. I'm not even going to go down the road of what's coming next, because let's just enjoy this. But again, the 14th, what a show that's going to be at Black Eyed Sally's on the 14th. That is this Saturday. Did you say 9 o'clock you're all going to start playing?
Yeah, 9 o'clock. But I don't know if you know Black Eyed Sally's, but they have the greatest Cajun food there.
Yeah, I'm kind of familiar.
Yeah, I know you are.
Yeah.
Fantastic food. So, get there early. Parking is real easy. People are worried about always Hartford, but right across the street's parking.
Yeah, right there, that big
simple.
Giant lot.
Yeah,
absolutely. I just say, though, that if you are interested in a table or anything like that, I just keep thinking about these artists that because these artists that you are bringing in around you all bring a following as well. Right. The songs that you're going to do, I'm going to hit play on Heard It Through the Grapevine. I can't wait to hear it, but I want to ask about the songs that you're going to do together that are your songs. Mm-hmm. Do you get a practice? This is one of those mind-boggling things where I think you guys are not only musicians, you're magicians. To come together
That's great.
And then literally, just to be able to do the song. Are you all getting a practice in, or how does that work?
Sure. There's nothing without work.
Yeah.
I've been playing for a while these songs with this band. Uh-huh. We do like Daryl's House. We do some very large venues, so these songs aren't new to us.
Yeah.
But they'll be new to this audience because most of my gigs are in New York.
Yeah.
So this is well rehearsed. Mm-hmm. And I do have the best players who have the best ears. Yeah. They know where you're going before you get there. Mm. Somebody like Stoltz.
Yeah.
I'm the weak guy in there.
I wouldn't say that, but you definitely have surrounded yourself with some incredible talent. Daryl's House, another great venue to check out. I think Pat Ryan's out there now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He used to be at Bridge Street. And I'm hearing such good things. They really get some great acts there as well. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening in. We're really appreciative that you are out there. You've got Allie doing Morning Mojo, where you can find me every Tuesday, just about. I think in 8 years just about every Tuesday. So without further ado, as much as I enjoy speaking with Tom, and we're going to chat a little more, I do want to play some more of his music off of On Fire. So let's go with the tune that we talked about earlier that has the incredible stylings of Grace Kelly on sax. Let's hear a little bit about I Heard It Through the Grapevine right here on WCNI New London 90.9 FM.
Your plans to make me blue. Some other guy you knew before. Between the two of us, guys.